What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mark Smith. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. We back with another fire stream. And we just witnessed one of the most exciting basketball games this season in the WNBA. And the whole point of streaming, the whole point of this channel, the whole point of me analyzing and talking about basketball is about the importance of the beauty of the game and the essence of pure basketball ability. Hoops is hoops. This is what we love. This is what we enjoy. This is what we talk about. And that game was phenomenal between the Dallas Wings and the Indiana Fever. And the Wings had the momentum for most of the game, but they couldn't really close out. And we know the Fever, when you let them play fast, when you let them push pace, when you let them get off in transition, they are a nightmare to defend. And then when you have players like Kelsey Mitchell, when you have players like Caitlyn Clark, when you have players like Boston, who all can play together cohesively, but also they have different flares in their individual games that makes them special. When we look at Kelsey Mitchell, she is a pure bucket. She is a hooper. Band for band, there's probably not a lot of players in the league that can go bucket for bucket with Kelsey Mitchell. We saw one on the Dallas Wings at Arike. But other than that, when we talk about pure hooping, Kelsey Mitchell is the best pure hooper in the game. I'm going to say it again. Kelsey Mitchell is the best pure hooper in the game. Caitlyn Clark is the best point guard in the NBA. Unanimous Rookie of the Year. Check it, lock it in. And then we have Arike, who is the best shot creator in the WNBA. We have pure hoops on full display. Yeah, that's what we love. That's the beauty of the basketball. That's the beauty of the WNBA. Seeing these women and how skilled they are, how dominant they are, how really just fantastic a level of shot making ability and playmaking ability that we've seen in this game. The WNBA is growing. The WNBA is heading in the right direction. And it was phenomenal to witness. It was phenomenal to watch. And it was special. Caitlyn Clark, she made some passes in today's game that I was like, yo, I am witnessing arguably, regardless of gender, probably a top 5 passer this either league has ever seen. Like when we talk about the top 5, top 10 greatest passers of all time, regardless of the NBA and the WNBA, Caitlyn Clark name is going to be mentioned in those conversations. That's how beautiful of a passer that she is. Once again, the connection between Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell is like watching when Pat Mahomes had Tyreek Hill. It was, or Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. Like, it is phenomenal. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. I can go on and on about the connection that they have when Caitlyn Clark is passing the ball, especially when she's going for full court and Kelsey Mitchell is leaking out on the break. It's like throwing to the quarterback, throwing the lob for the touchdown. It is phenomenal. It is exciting. It is truly, truly special. It's something that we haven't seen before in this league. And I've been telling people Kelsey Mitchell has to remain with the Indiana Fever. Kelsey Mitchell she deserves a raise. She deserves a multi-year deal because we're witnessing potentially one of the youngest teams in the league with the Indiana Fever. We're witnessing probably the start of something very, very special because they remind me a lot of the OKC Thunder when we talk about a young team that has a lot of young pieces, that's really talented, and that's going to make some noise in this playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win a first-round matchup, but they're going to win a game in a best-of-3 series, and nobody wants to play the Indiana Fever because of their speed and their pace, and also due to the fact that they have 2 players who are the most electric players in the league right now. Scratch that. They have 2 players in Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark who are the most electrifying players in the league. Like, they are it. They are the most electric backcourt in this league. They are dynamic. They are, and when they're on, it's chef's kiss. What's up, Chad? What y'all talking about? Let's get into it. Superior game. Facts. I suffered from anxiety. I was sweating. My gosh, Mitchell needs 200,000 raise. I agree, Chad. Like, she deserves a contract where she's getting like a 3-year, whatever type of deal. I don't know, in the WNBA, their deals are kind of weird, but if they had to give her the max, give her the max. She is the real reason why we're winning, including Kelsey Clark, Caitlyn Clark, and Lexi. Kelsey Mitchell, what she does is that she takes so much attention off of Caitlyn Clark, because Caitlyn Clark, if we look at this game, Caitlyn Clark generated 40 points, 28 when we talk about her scoring, and also another 12 for assists. She's a generator. She's an engine. She generates a lot of points, a lot of opportunities for the Indiana Fever. Like, she's responsible for the bulk of their offense. So she needs a player that can go get a bucket individually, shot creation, creating off the dribble, the pull up, and she doesn't have to worry about always setting up for everybody. And that's what she has with Kelsey Mitchell. She's a perfect complementary piece for Caitlyn Clark to succeed. Caitlyn Clark is not going to be as successful as she is without having Kelsey Mitchell in that backcourt with her. Like, they are a tandem. They are electric. They are incredible. They combined today 64 points, and what they combined? Was it 64 points? They combined with 10 threes. I'm sorry. They combined with 10 threes. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark. And when they're shooting the lights off the pill like they were tonight, it's going to be hard to really stop them. It's going to be really hard to really challenge them. They combined for 64 points and 10 threes. That is dynamic scoring. That is a fantastic outing for your two best players on your team. Kelsey Mitchell had a career night. She was unstoppable. What I liked about Kelsey Mitchell is, like, she never really, like, goes out and takes kind of crazy shots, ill-advised shots. Like, the shots that she was taking, they were all kind of within the flow of the game, or they were all coming off the fast break transitions with the pull-ups. And sometimes she can get a little shot happy at times. But, like, the shots that she takes are normally makeable and capable shots. And I love Arike. She's the most difficult shot maker in the league. She's the best shot creator in the league. But sometimes Arike, she can take some shots that are a little questionable compared to Kelsey Mitchell, because we've seen, like, Arike at times, like, she took a fadeaway one-legger, and she hits those shots, but sometimes those shots can mess up the flow in the offense. But with Kelsey Mitchell, when she's especially on the fast break transition, when Caitlyn Clark is hitting her in strive and hitting her on the fast break, like, a lot of times she's hitting you with the pump fake and the one dribble to the left or the right, and then hitting you with the three-point shot. One of the most prettiest strokes in the game. Like, a lot of the shots that she takes are in the flow of the offense, and you have to respect that. But 64 points and 10 threes that's a crazy game for your backcourt. And they're the most electric backcourt in the WNBA without a question. And they're going to do some damage in the playoffs. Let's see. The Fever need to give Kelsey Supermax side for next year. Wheeler, a couple others, they were eating up cap. Don't even play contracts up. I agree, Steve. That's a big fact. That's what the friction was at first, but CC is already a veteran. Yep. That's what I love about Kelsey Mitchell. She's not scared to throw a three-pointer with the game on the line. CC was a veteran in high school compared to the women in the league. Man, it's different. It's different. Kelsey, Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey, AB, they have 3 stars for the future. That is a big 3. And then when you look at this game, what I liked about this matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings, and the Dallas Wings are fighting for that eighth seed. I still believe they're going to become the eighth seed and get that eighth seed in that eighth spot in the playoffs. I see the Chicago Sky, they're falling. The Atlanta Dream, I'm not too confident they're going to be able to get in the playoffs. I just like my chances with the Dallas Wings going into the playoffs. Before this game, they were on a 3-game winning streak, and they almost won this game. This is a heartbreaker to lose, but they still have some opportunities to get that eighth seed. And this is what a lot of people are talking about with Dallas. They were saying, like, why is Dallas so bad? But they were missing Satu. They was missing another one of their best players. And then when you have like Santu 4-3, she had 25, Arike had 34, and then Natasha Howard had 18, and then Satu also had what? It was 4 threes, and Arike had 9 threes. So they had 14 combined threes for their 2 stars, and also Howard, who's one of the best defensive players in the league, who also can score a little bit as well. She had 18. So their big 3 tonight really was lethal. You know, they combined for 77 points and 14 threes. Their big 3. So, and they lost this game. And this big 3, they can match up in the playoffs. And we know it's a hard battle going from an AC to try to really go out and win the championships. But this big 3 is extremely talented. And this is the Wings team where everybody thought was going to be a really, competing for that top 6 seeding prior to the season started. But we know Satu missed a lot of games, and she just came back recently, and she's needed. Like, she gives them another bucket getter, another scorer. And once again, they combined for their 3 best players combined for 77 points and 14 threes between Satu and Arike, and they lost to Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and the crew. And Boston, it wasn't even really much of a factor until late in that fourth quarter. And that's something the Indiana Fever are going to have to figure out, because what I said in the beginning of the stream is just that what I love about the Indiana Fever is that they have 3 different players that can play 3 different styles of play. We have Caitlyn Clark, who can control and dictate pace and push the ball in transition, also can beat teams with her passing and playmaking ability. Also, she can beat teams with her scoring. They have an individual in Kelsey Mitchell, who is the best pure hooper in the game, pure bucket, can go off one-on-one, can create fast break opportunities, can score in a variety of ways. And then they have Boston, who, if you dump the ball in the post, her footwork, her spin, turn around, hit you with the baby hooks, either left or right. Like, they can play different styles. But sometimes what happens is the speed and the pace that they play with, it tends to be the only style that they – well, it's not the only style. It tends to be what they play with the most, push the ball, getting out, scoring on the fast break transition, 7 seconds or less offense. And sometimes Boston gets lost in the sauce. And in the playoffs, they're going to need Boston, because the game is going to slow down. In the playoffs, they're going to need Boston to be in the post, to be able to dump the ball down, to run their sets and get her some easy opportunities, because she can really dominate in the post, because she's very, very skilled. But we know it's going to be a long road in the playoffs. We got about 2 weeks left in the WNBA, but it's going to be interesting for sure. Teams need to catch up on her scout reports. The commentator praised TC for what she contributes to the league. And she did. And when we look at Caitlyn Clark, and it's been a lot of – and the commentator was praising her, and she mentioned about how when it comes to Caitlyn Clark, we need to – she said that we need to uplift her, talking about the former legends. And she's a Hall of Famer, the commentator. I forgot her name, but she's a Hall of Famer in the WNBA. She was a legend in the game. But when they talked about Caitlyn Clark, they talked about how legends in the media need to uplift her. And also, she thanked Caitlyn Clark, because every arena that Caitlyn Clark shows up and the Indiana Fever show up to, it is packed. It is fans of all over. Caitlyn Clark has helped the game go globally, and she's going to get a lot of these women paid. Her impact is going to be similar to Michael Jordan and what he did for the NBA, who, when Michael Jordan came, he really made basketball cool, popularized the game, made it globally, and also made it where players' contracts started to increase, and they started to reap the benefits after him. Like, Michael Jordan was only making about $5 million a season until like his last couple seasons in the NBA, when he was making like $35 million a season in his last tenure with the Chicago Bulls, when he won the last three-peat. But that's what Caitlyn Clark is going to do. Her impact, the merchandise sales, the fandom, her helping the game grow globally, she's going to get herself and upcoming WNBA the pay that they deserve, because all eyes are going to be on Caitlyn Clark, which brings eyes and opportunities on other players and other teams as well, where we can see, if you're not a fanatic like me or an analyst or a person that loves basketball, like I already know how cold Arike is. I already know how cool Santu is. I already know how cold Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, because I grew up watching the WA, Cynthia Cooper, like Cheryl Swoops. Like, I already know that, but you have casual fans that are entering the game of basketball for the WNBA lens for the first time this season, and they're seeing how skilled Arike is. They're seeing how skilled Kelsey Plum is. They're seeing how skilled Mitchell is. They're seeing how skilled Arike Jackson is from the LA Sparks. Like, it's so much eyes and attention on the sport of basketball in the WNBA lens that we got to give respect to Caitlyn Clark, because she's about to get these girls paid, and the game is going to increase for the best due to her impact and due to her being, quote unquote, kind of like the chosen one for the WNBA. Fever, my new favorite sports team. This is what I'm talking about. Merry-go-round. This is exactly what we're talking about. CC and Kelsey, the Splash Sisters. Yep. Max Out Mitchell dropped gems, of course. Yep. The Wings are now stacked. That sound two is back. Yep. That's what I'm saying. The Wings are coming. They got their players. This is a steep side because she only makes $75,000. I would estimate around $5,000 more. They need to look at the long-term revenue for the future, which should be huge. I agree, but I think they have I don't know the deal that they signed or whatever, but I think it's like until 2028 or something, 29 or 30, maybe it's 30. I don't know, but like by the time that next deal comes around, it's going to increase dramatically, because it's going to be like the impact is already there. The WNBA is going to become the summer sport for sports. Meaning, when we think about the summer, we used to think about how there's nothing to watch in the summer. Baseball is available, but baseball is a long-ass season and can be boring at times. And everybody's waiting for football. Everybody's waiting for basketball to return in the fall in college football. But the WNBA is going to be the summer sport, and we're already seeing that right now, and all eyes are on the WNBA. So it's going to be very, 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 very special, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I wish the Sparks get the number one pick in the 2025 to draft Paige. That would get a young, Brick Jackson Paige, another powerhouse. Paige is probably going to go to that team in Oakland that's coming out, and we're going to see, but Juju is coming into the league. Juju is a hooper. We got Fly J coming. Like, we got a lot of girls that are coming that are incredibly skilled. This young crop of women basketball players for this next generation is really about to change the game. This 2024 draft class is the biggest draft class I've seen since 2003, when we had LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade. Like, this draft class importance, and also the players that the big four, Jackson, Clark, Reese, and then we got Brink, who is hurt right now. Like, those big four are going to be legit all-stars and potential superstars someday. If they already, Caitlyn Clark's already a superstar as well. Angel Reese just broke the all-time rebounding record as a rookie. Regardless of how y'all feel about Angel Reese and this and that, you can't deny her impact, and you can't deny that, like, her accomplishing that is impressive as a rookie. So this draft class is special. The Oakland Golden State new expansion usually gets the 4th or 3rd. Yeah, you're probably right. 4th or 3rd. I'm sorry if I'm keep coughing, y'all. I'm sick, chat. Like, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. Definitely crazy right now. And it's lit. It's like this game was very special, very fun to watch. And it's about the buckets. Like that's what I love. It was about the purity. Swoops got stunned. MVP race is potentially going to be tight. Let's pump the brakes on that. Swoops got stunned. MVP race is going to be. It's not going to be tight because Asia Wilson. I think Asia Wilson just had 35 this game. Asia Wilson is leading the league in points per game, defensive efficiency. If you look at the advanced stats, blocks, Asia Wilson is about to be the MVP and the defensive player of the year. I think what hurts Indiana Fever is that their record, they just got to 500, which has been a long time because we know their early schedule of their season was very brutal. But Caitlyn Clark is a MVP candidate, without a doubt. And I've been saying she's a unanimous rookie of the year. And Chad, and I'm gonna tell you that let's get this out the way, because what we're not gonna do in the chat, like we're not doing any like talking about anybody being racist. We're not talking about the people's fan bases and things of that nature. We're going to respect all individuals, all WNBA legends and things of that nature. We can have an opinion when it's about basketball, but we don't do the race stuff in here. That's the quickest way to get removed or blocked. Like we don't do that, guys, in the chat. I hope the Fever fans, Connecticut Suns in the first round, please. I'm not a hater, but for some reason I so hate the Connecticut Suns. LOL. That would be a great first match. Also, Fever had a big chance with, and I don't think if that's a matchup between the Fever and the Suns, I think that's an awful matchup for the Suns because the Fever just beat the Connecticut Suns for the first time in 11 tries recently. In that game, they won, but the Suns have perimeter defenders that can make Caitlyn Clark's life a living hell. Chat, like they got Dejanay can guard Caitlyn Clark, long, length, very physical. Alyssa Thomas, long, length, very physical. Bonner, long, length, very physical. Like they're the second best defensive team rate for the defensive rating, the second best overall defensive team in the league. To me, I think they're their best defensive team in the league. But that's not a team that Caitlyn Clark really wants to see, I believe. I would want her and the Indiana Fever to see the Fever more so than the Suns in the first round due to the fact that they got switchable defenders, and it's going to make things very challenging and very difficult for Caitlyn Clark compared to some other teams. I think the Fever can make it to fifth. We won't see them in the first round. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, who knows? The Fever on a surge right now, and the Mercury are dropping. They just lost a game. They got blew out, so they could definitely surpass the Mercury. And we don't know what Mercury we're going to get because, unfortunately, the Mercury are trying to still live through their old legends. And the truth of the matter is just like that's not going to work in the playoffs. I love Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, but their time has came and went for them being – you want them to be, 2 out of your top 3 players on your team. That's not it anymore. I hope the Fever won't face the Lynx. Yeah, just 2.5 games back from the Sun. The Mercury are 7 first rounds. The fact that people really try to compare Reese to Clark is beyond insane at this point. Yeah, that argument is over with. Like we surpassed that. Angel Reese is a hell of a player, great player. She's done her and Cardoso. They gave the Lynx a run for their money today. The Twin Towers was in full effect. I think Cardoso needs more minutes. Like Camilla, like she is more polished offensively, and they got to figure out what they're going to do for the future between her and Angel Reese. The Twin Towers look great when they're both on and they're both clicking, but it looks bad when you're not when they're not clicking at the same time. And it's going to be interesting because as great as Reese is, she's a double-double machine. But for its like finishing ability and around the rim, you want your big man can't be shooting under 40%. And Camilla is a much more polished finisher. Like Camilla can be averaging 15 and 15 someday in this league. Like she's that skilled around the basket. Great touch. Also a great defender as well. The South Carolina bigs are always phenomenal. We saw Boston today with the footwork down on the post and kind of got busy during the fourth quarter when they started giving her the ball. So it's going to be special, chat. It's going to be special. And I'm about to get out of here. Make sure y'all go like, comment, and subscribe. And for the ones that's new in here, new for the Truth Teller Gang, guys, I got a book called Becoming Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry. I have a book called Becoming Basketball that's also on Amazon. That was my first ever children's book. I released my second children's book called Becoming Kobe Bryant. It's on Amazon, but also most importantly, the hardcover is on Barnes & Noble. The hardcover is on Amazon Prime as well. But go run up, go get it. If you got a son, if you got a kid, if you got a nephew, if you got a niece, somebody, we all know somebody that loves to read and got kids or something, whatever. Go cop it. This is the hardcover copy. I will really appreciate it. Or tell somebody. We got all these people in the chat right now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And once again, Becoming Kobe Bryant by Arike Smith. I just released this last week. I would really appreciate if y'all go and lock in and go tell somebody, cop it, show support. It's your boy. And I really appreciate that. But I'm getting sick. I've been sick all week, chat. So I'm going to get out of here. Once again, it's your boy, Arike Smith. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow me on all my platforms for the social media platforms at AKISS or just look up Arike Smith and you'll see me always talking about basketball. Was Slam's first ever talent for a couple of their basketball pods. Used to work for the NBA. We used to work for the Brooklyn Nets, played college basketball. Just kind of give you a rundown for people that don't know me and that's not really involved on a constant basis for the new folks in here. Once again, I appreciate y'all. And we gone, man. Peace.